So when it comes to leaks and rumors about the Nintendo Switch 2 or Nintendo's next-gen system, it definitely seems like we're starting to get more of these now, and that definitely makes sense with how everything is pointing towards this system coming out sometime next year in 2024. So as we get closer and closer now to 2024, we're already getting close to the end of 2023, more and more information is going to kind of start slipping through the doors and finding its way online. And so today we've got some potential leaks and rumors about the possibility that the Nintendo Switch 2 could be revealed as early as this year, but also a good look at what exactly the specs could be in terms of a technical level and what the performance of the system might be like. So when talking about when this system is going to be revealed, this has been a big discussion for so many people, as pretty much the only information that we kind of have an idea for is that the system is going to be coming out at some point next year. We don't even know for sure if it's going to be coming out in early 2024 or if it's going to be coming out in the middle of 2024. Most people are saying it's probably going to be late 2024, like around the holiday time, like around Christmas time next year. And so if that's the case, then it would really make sense for them to show this system next year and have it really be unveiled at the start of the year, maybe have like a summer event to show some of the big games that are going to be coming out for it, and then have the system come out officially in like October or November of 2024. But according to stuff that has been going around, it seems like something is going to happen for the next Nintendo system in March of 2024. And this was already mentioned by Nate the Hate, who is a very accurate insider that we have, and he said that a lot of the people that he's had with sources have told him that the Nintendo representatives, when they were showing demos for the Switch 2 and the next-gen system, they kept saying March 2024, but he has no idea what exactly that means. And it could be something where maybe Nintendo is revealing the system in March of 2024, maybe the system even comes out in March 2024, we don't have any idea. But I guess if the system really is going to be coming out in March of 2024, like how the Switch came out in March of 2017, then that would mean that the system would need to be revealed this year, which seems so unlikely because obviously we've got so many games coming out this year like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, as well as the Super Mario RPG remake, and you've got these types of games that are still coming out for this current Switch, so revealing a whole new system would seem so weird because then you would think a lot of people would just be like, well, you know what, I'm not going to buy these games now, I'm just going to save my money for the next Nintendo system. So on paper it sounds really stupid for them to actually show the next Nintendo system during the time where everybody's going to be thinking about buying these games. But now we have an idea that maybe this possibly could happen according to a rumor that we have from this Amiibo expert. So there is an Amiibo expert who goes by the name of Spiky, and this is somebody who really keeps up to date with all the information when it comes to Amiibos, like when brand new ones are going to be coming out, when old ones are getting restocked, and all of that type of stuff. And recently it was discovered that Nintendo is going to be restocking a bunch of old Smash Bros. Amiibos after so many years. And the thing that he's always kind of explained is that whenever there is any type of Amiibo restock, there is always something else related to it which makes sense for why the Amiibos are coming back. Like Nintendo doesn't really just randomly do Amiibo restocks out of nowhere. There's usually a reason because they know that there's going to be more demand for those Amiibos again, which is why they'll do a restock. And so when it was found out recently that a whole bunch of these old Smash Bros. Amiibos are going to be restocked, a lot of people did have like that little bit of speculation that maybe there's going to be some type of other Smash Bros. Related news announcement or something that's going to happen. And we did get that last Nintendo Direct where we found out that it was basically nothing, where all they pretty much did was announce the Sora Amiibo, which was the final Amiibo that was left. So now every single character in Smash Bros. Is finally available in Amiibo form. So that didn't really make sense as for why so many of the older Amiibos are also getting restocked. So like earlier this year, they restocked some Fire Emblem Amiibos like Corrin and Lucina and some of those types of characters, and the reason for that was because Fire Emblem Engage came out, and if you actually scanned in Fire Emblem Amiibos into Engage, it gave you some little bonuses like different costumes and music and things like that. So it made sense because obviously by having those get restocked, they knew that there would be demand for those from the Fire Emblem fans, and so that's why it made sense to re-release them. The thing with this though is there hasn't been any type of news announcement so far that has explained why these old Smash Bros. Amiibos are being restocked, and now it's leading to some speculation that maybe it's possible that Nintendo could be announcing their next generation system, as these Amiibos are slated to come out, I'm pretty sure, in the early parts of November, and it's because of that through the research that Spiky has done, he said that whenever these types of re-releases or restocks for Amiibos happen, we usually get whatever types of news that they're connected to as for the reasoning for why the restock restock is happening within about 16 days before or after the re-release happens. So he's saying that either like when this release is happening, we would know by like October 26th or November 26th. Basically in that 1 month gap, they would have to make some type of announcement for exactly what the news is for why these amiibos are coming back. And right now there hasn't been any type of indication, so a lot of people are speculating that maybe it's possible that this is going to be for a reveal for the next generation Nintendo system, and these new amiibos are somehow going to be compatible with the game on it, or maybe for some reason they just want to do that, and then they're going to show the system this year, and then the system is going to come out in early 2024. And I mean, maybe it could happen, but if you guys want my honest prediction for this, I honestly think that Nintendo is just kind of doing this to squeeze out pretty much anything else that they can do with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and this current Nintendo Switch. And obviously right now, when these amiibos are coming back around the holiday time, it is going to be when everybody is going to be shopping for gifts and giving gifts for Christmas and Hanukkah and the holidays and all of that. So I feel like just, you know, a lot of people are just going to see these new amiibos and maybe not have them and be like, you know what, I don't have this amiibo, let me just add it into my collection, it's only a couple dollars, I'll just do that. And I feel like it's because of that they're probably re-releasing these amiibos. It's been a really long time since so many of these have been available, ever since like the Wii U era back in like 2015 when some of these came out. So it would just make sense to have these come back with like the Smash Ultimate branding now on them too. So I feel like that's what they're probably doing. I don't think that this makes any sense to be tied with a new hardware announcement, but some people do think that it has a possibility, so I guess that is kind of just something to keep in the back of your head, because we still don't have an exact reason for why these amiibos are being restocked. So personally, I'm not buying into the camp that the Switch 2 is going to be revealed this year. I definitely think that we're not going to hear about the system officially from Nintendo until early 2024. But now, in terms of more reputable information that's kind of leak oriented and not so much rumors and speculation like the Amiibo stuff, we've got some potential information here about the detailed specs for exactly what this next gen Nintendo system is going to be capable of, down to a technical level with numbers and performance benchmarks. Now, once again, it is important to keep in mind that a lot of this type of stuff might not be exactly accurate with what we get in the final product, but it definitely does seem like it is possible because this type of stuff is coming from reputable sources, and it is kind of lining up with what we've heard from a lot of rumors for the last couple of years too, so it's not like this sounds so far-fetched from what we've been hearing, so there's definitely a decent chance to believe this. So this information is coming from a YouTube channel known as Red Gaming Tech. I don't have a ton of information about this person, so I don't know exactly how credible they are or how many things that they've gotten correct in the past, but like I said, a lot of the stuff that they are saying here is matching pretty much exactly with what we've heard about the Switch 2's performance from other reputable insiders too, so it's not like what they're saying here is drastically different. So because of that, there's probably a decent chance that a lot of this is pretty much very accurate, or at least close to the final version of what the Switch 2 is going to be like. And so going into the specs here, there is a lot of deep technical information here, down to like the exact numbers and stuff, so I don't think that I'm too familiar with all of this type of stuff to really explain it the best way that I can. I think I understand it on like a basic level, which is what I'm going to be talking about in the video, but if you are more well versed in this type of stuff than I am, feel free to comment your thoughts about all of this down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about all of this information, and if it does make you excited for Nintendo's next system. Alright, but looking at the information here, it says that it's going to be using an 8X Cortex A78 CPU cores, so basically the CPU is going to be 8 cores, and this honestly makes a lot of sense because this pretty much is lining up with exactly what chip was leaked for the next generation Switch from that massive Nvidia leak that happened a few years ago, where they basically said it was going to be using an Nvidia T239 chip, which was going to be basically having 8 cores, so that is pretty much matching with what we've heard. It says here that there's going to be a 12X SM, which is largely based on Nvidia's Ampere architecture with some Lovelace features. Not really too familiar with what exactly that means, but in terms of RAM, it says here there's going to be 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 at 128-bit width, which honestly makes a lot of sense, and that is lining up with what we've heard from a rumor that happened just a few days ago, where somebody did say that they've heard that the RAM was going to be 12 gigabytes, and right now the current Switch has 4 gigs, so it would be having 3 times more RAM. Then it says here that I've heard mixed information on the clock speeds, with one source touting at 6400 megabits per second docked and 4800 handheld, and another one was saying that it was going to be 4267 megahertz, although they didn't specify if that was docked or not. But he said if he had to take a guess, he would think that the 4267 megahertz was most likely in handheld mode. So once again, I don't have too much information on exactly what these clock speeds and all of that could mean, but it definitely does sound like it is going to be a pretty powerful system looking at this type of information. Storage wise, it says here that it's going to be either 256 or 512 gigabytes of eMMC, though they're not sure if it's going to be two configurations or if the size is undecided. So it could be possible that Nintendo hasn't decided yet if they want to put 256 or 512 gigabytes into the final version of the system. But it's also possible that it could be like the Wii U, where maybe there's going to be two configurations, where if you remember, the Wii U had two versions, where one of them was the white version, and that came with 8 gigabytes of internal memory, and then they had like the black version, which came with 32 gigabytes. So maybe they're going to do that, where they have like a cheap version of the Nintendo Switch 2 that's going to have 256 gigabytes, but then there's also going to be like the more kind of advanced version, or more like deluxe version, which is going to have 512. Now, information about the DLSS upscaling does seem to be kind of a little bit confusing. They've said here that they've had two sources tell them that it's just some version of DLSS 3. Another one specifically said that it was DLSS 3.1, which would also match one of the rumors that came out a few days ago, saying that they've heard that it was going to have DLSS 3.1, but then also somebody else says here that DLSS 3.5 support could be coming, so we don't really know exactly, just that it's definitely going to have DLSS, because that is something that we've heard with pretty much every leak in regards to this next system. And finally, the most important one for a lot of people, performance-wise, it says here that it's going to be about 10 to 20% within the Xbox Series S range, likely in docked mode, and in terms of handheld, it's going to be close to an Asus ROG Ally, which honestly makes a lot of sense with what we've been hearing. We've kind of heard that it's going to be around like a base PS4 in terms of handheld mode, and then docked mode is going to be around PlayStation 4 Pro level, as well as Xbox Series S, and yeah, those are pretty much very close to each other in terms of performance, so this honestly makes a lot of sense. And so if all of this does come into fruition, this could honestly be pretty much the biggest Nintendo hardware like performance leap that we have ever seen since maybe like the N64 to the GameCube. So this could definitely mean so many amazing games now that are coming out for like the Xbox Series S, games that have been out on the PlayStation 4. All of these types of games now can definitely run flawlessly on the next Nintendo system with upscaling to 4K using this DLSS. Like, it could be an amazing system, and I'm very excited to see what Nintendo has been cooking. So yeah, it just seems like this system is going to be really, really great, and I can't wait to get more information about it and finally be able to play it, most likely next year, because it definitely seems like everything is pointing towards this happening next year. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button, and also subscribe to the channel, as well as I'm going to be having more videos talking about Nintendo's next system as the information comes out. So definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think about all of this. How do you guys feel about the whole Amiibo theory, that maybe there's going to be some type of news announcement or something related to the Amiibos that's going to happen later this year? And how do you feel about these leaked specifications for the next gen Nintendo system, and what you think that it could be capable of? If you're definitely more well versed in this type of stuff than I am, definitely be sure to comment your thoughts on the performance and how you guys think that this system is going to be. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.